Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third Twitch TV chat. I'm here with Team Tuna. We got balance designer Chris Schmidt.
Hey, everybody.
And balance designer Ross Treyz.
Hey, how's it going?
And we're going to show you an OmegaCo city today from the recently released SimCity Cities of Tomorrow expansion pack. A lot of great stuff in here. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Just a reminder, if you have any questions, send them to our Inside the Twitch chat module, or you can tweet them to the hashtag SimCityTwitch. We'll be answering questions a little bit later. And without further ado, why don't we get straight into it?
Hi, everybody. So, as you can see, I've got a city nice and up and running with my sort of regular mega towers here, and you can see over off in the distance there's Ross's city from the Academy broadcast earlier.
Oh, what a beautiful city.
Yeah, although it's not quite as nice as my Academy city over here in the distance, but you know, it's
Blah, blah, blah.
It's good enough, you know. So today we're going to be having a look at OmegaCo. As you can see, I've got this nice, fairly industrialized city with you know, all these mega towers over here, and I'm gonna take. I'm running a little bit low as far as you know, my income, so I'm gonna supplement that with my OmegaCo. So let me get started on that.
Yeah, OmegaCo is great. It's just all their products are just wonderful and great for you, great for the environment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's exactly what the Sims want.
Yeah, 0 calories, 0 nutrition, all that stuff. So before anybody asks, we don't actually know what Omega is. All we know is that it's a wonderful product that makes you money.
Good.
Sims crave it, apparently.
Yeah,
Sims absolutely crave it. They love it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just this fantastic stuff. So, in order to make it, you of course need to get some oil and some raw ore together.
And what made out of oil and ore is bad.
I know, right? It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So, actually, I see, Chris, you're drinking some Omega over there. Is that right?
I am, in fact. If you can see.
We still don't know what it is.
But it's very invigorating.
Yeah.
You know, wake up in the morning, you get yourself some Omega. It's good, either hot or cold.
Yeah.
You know, it's fantastic.
I like to mix a little coffee in with my Omega, but I'm crazy, so.
And of course, there's you know, all the side benefits. You know, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So last time when Ross was making an Academy city, Chris threw down a challenge.
Oh yeah.
So Ross, are you in for a little some revenge over here?
Yeah, I challenge you. I don't think you can get all your industrial or most of your industrial converted over to Omega in the time it takes us to do this broadcast.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit lowballing me. I think I can get the majority of my industrial and also most of my commercial and even some of my residential converted over. I think I can get some pretty decent numbers over here on the franchise percentages here.
All right. Well, if you feel like you're up to it, you know,
Absolutely.
the Sims want the Omega, so I'm not gonna hold it back from them.
I know it's definitely what they crave.
Challenge accepted.
Yep. So you got a half hour on the clock?
Yeah, it just started at 30 minutes, so let's see how much you can Omega size your city.
All right. So something that you'll start to see is as you know, the Omega starts coming in, we've started getting our raw materials in to our trade port over here. We're going to be able to start shipping that over to the actual OmegaCo here, and you're going to start seeing the Omega actually being delivered out from here as it's going into production. And there you can see the tasty purple haze
Delicious.
coming off of it. It's absolutely fantastic.
And that's good for the environment, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's absolutely no environmental negative effects
What?
whatsoever. I mean, we're totally not going to be blowing pollution right downwind over to that city right there.
Wait, is that Ross's city?
Yeah.
Oh, poor Ross.
So totally not going to be ruining the day of those fantastic wealthy cities over there.
That's okay. We in the Academy have many different technologies to deal with stinky polluters.
Well, I'm sure, and in true industrialist form, I'm actively taking from the benefits of my neighboring academy city over here, just producing my power and processing my sewage and all that other fun stuff. Yeah, taking full advantage of the trade agreement between us.
How about some of that Omega?
No, I'm sure they'll start benefiting from the safety drones soon enough, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Good. Okay.
So let's see.
So yeah, so just so you know how this works, basically the OmegaCo factories produce industrial grade Omega and then ship it out to the existing industrial zoned buildings, and then those buildings take it in and they produce commercial grade Omega, which is then shipped to the commercial buildings. And when Sims get Omega drones, the drones will come in and bring them the commercial grade Omega in their homes where they can consume it.
Yep. And eventually, of course, you start getting the drones out, and once the drones are out, you're going to be able to have Omega delivered straight into your straight from the factory to your home, or sorry, straight from the factory to the commercial to your home without any interruption, without even having to get up off your couch.
Yep, you just open your mouth and the drone brings you the Omega.
Just drops it right in your mouth. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't even have to get up.
Or, in your hands or wherever you want your Omega delivered.
Looks like I'm running a little bit low on water here. I'll just extend this out. Get myself some water. So I'm gonna start pumping out with one of these fancy new futurized water towers. All right, so we've given it a minute. Let's have a look at So we're starting to get some Omega deliveries over to our nearby factories. They'll be converting over shortly as the deliveries go out. But I'm a little bit underwhelmed with the pace, so I think I'm going to expand my franchise a little bit.
Kick it up a notch.
Yeah. Add some more Omega. There you go. And one of the things that you can do also, if you're looking to improve the amount of resources that are being pulled in, one of the neat things about Omega is that they've got the ability to ship straight in via drone, or sorry, via VTOL.
Yeah.
No mistake.
VTOL is one of my favorite additions to the expansion pack. It's basically it's a module that you can put on either your trade port, which is the upgraded trade depot, or directly on your OmegaCo factories. And basically, it's a landing pad for a magnetic flight vehicle, which will deliver resources from the global market, and it can be delivered directly to your OmegaCo factories, or you can, which will only import the resources that are necessary for Omega production, or you can put it on your trade port and it will import any global market good directly to that trade port. So yeah, let's get some going on right there.
Yeah, just put a couple over here by the road. There you go. So these things are going to be pretty cool. You'll be able to see them come in just a minute to deliver straight to my co-factories.
I love the smell of Omega in the morning.
That's fantastic. And look at all that fire. I mean, fire is always fantastic for the environment.
Yeah,
there's no question.
What I don't get is, what is the fire even doing?
It's a part of the manufacturing process.
Okay,
you have to burn off all the bad stuff, so you're left with nothing but crispy, clean Omega goodness.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So just a reminder, we're about 5 minutes into our challenge. How are we doing in your converting your city over to OmegaCo?
I can see that we started converting a few of these industrial buildings. I got about 15% of my industrial, 3% of my commercial going.
Nice.
And I'm making some decent money off of it. As you can see, as they become Omega franchises, they start changing a little bit visually in order to represent their new status.
They proudly display those giant neon signs proclaiming their loyalty to OmegaCo.
Yeah.
It's
can see the OmegaCo franchise mark right there. So in addition to the regular RCI buildings, you also will eventually start converting over your mega towers. So you're going to be able to really start seeing them represent a sort of OmegaCo franchise as time goes on. A little bit of it here, coming in.
Nice.
Now we're really starting to cook. You can see that these things are starting to convert over.
I'm glad that Sims and Mega Towers can also enjoy the benefits of Omega.
Well, I mean, everybody needs to enjoy the benefits of Omega. It's just a requirement.
Nice.
Even plants and animals.
So something else that's kind of cool about Omega is that you can actually get your resources straight from the ground. So I'm gonna demonstrate here. So we've got these wonderful extraction pods, which are an OmegaCo innovation. They allow you to extract both oil and ore from the same module, which significantly increases your efficiency. In addition, it's handled via a pipeline, which you can connect between. Unfortunately, this guy is not quite going to connect because I've got the other one blocking it, but I may rearrange that a bit later. So I've got these nice fields that are overlap with the two. So I'm just going to start throwing down some of these extraction pods to start providing me with the raw materials, save me a little bit of cash. And these things, if I remember correctly, these are slightly better than the ones that you can get from the regular extraction, correct?
Yes, actually, they extract on a more efficient ratio, so the deposits in the earth will last a lot longer if you're using the future extraction. You can see it's because they have fire shooting out of them that they extract more efficiently.
Obviously, I mean,
Look at how efficient that looks.
Efficiency always involves more fire. I mean, obviously.
Oh wow!
Spinning wheels.
Yeah, it's kind of like from Galaxy Quest. Who designed this thing?
Delicious. Oh man.
So while I'm messing around a little bit with expanding my city, do you have any questions from the audience?
Yeah. So one of our audience members is asking, I'm mining oil, but it's not going to the factory. Any advice on to help, get that oil out there?
What else you want to take?
I mean, sure. It would depend on what your setup is. I would say, I would recommend using the extraction pod itself because you're going to get a better ratio of your the resources that are being pulled out of the ground, and then it will also, as you can see, go directly into the factory. If you're mining out of the ground, also you need a depot as the interim between the oil rig and the OmegaCo factory, and so if you don't have a trade depot to take it, the union workers at the oil rig won't deliver directly to a factory. It's not in their contract, so they will only deliver to a depot, and then the depot workers, their union does deliver to factories. So yeah,
very cool.
This is also something cool that you can do with, and you can also do this with the oil refinery. In just the base game, but you can actually connect together the pipelines between multiple Omega factories, and it'll allow you to actually share the resources that are extracted by both sets of pods between the factories. So this guy's right now doing VTOLs. I'm actually going to switch this guy over. Another thing about it, I'm going to switch this guy over to doing Omega, and I'm going to change this guy over to producing just VTOLs. So not VTOLs, drones, so that I can actually take full advantage of all the extraction that's going on.
So what are the advantages of drones?
I mean, drones will allow you to take advantage of some of the other modules that are in the expansion. So there's the safety drone level, which provides you with various different drones that will go out. And, there's the law drones, which will inject criminals with, sedative Omega and make them productive members of society.
Inject them with sedative Omega.
It's a lack of Omega that causes crime. Really. So the more Omega that you have, and the more Omega you have in the populace, obviously, the less crime.
Seems like Omega is just a multi-purpose thing. I don't even know what to describe it as.
Yeah, well, we're actually installing our own Omega module over here, as you can hear in the background.
Delicious.
Yeah. Pretty soon we'll have our own supply of Omega. So yeah, there are actually, if you count that, there are two different kinds of drones. Although one of them is kind of subdivided. There are shop drones which go and live in residential buildings along with the Sims, and they will go out and, instead of having shoppers go out into the crowded, smoggy streets of the future, the drones will actually go out and shop for them and bring them home goods and different things they need, including Omega. And then there's the second type of drones are safety drones. And I said before they're subdivided. Safety drones actually come in three different kinds. There are law drones, health drones, and fire drones. And the law drones, as Chris said before, they will go out and rehabilitate criminals on the spot. In the future, the drones will be able to solve all of our problems just by being there. So the law drones, will rehabilitate criminals on the spot. The health drones go and they sacrifice themselves for they're made out of medical grade Omega, and so they go and sacrifice themselves to cure injuries. And then the fire drones are they're made out of fire retardant Omega, so they will go and they will put out fires by sacrificing themselves. So
sounds good. So I know that you're increasing your Omega in your city. For people who don't have the Cities of Tomorrow expansion, I hear that they can still receive Omega if someone's playing in the region. Is that true?
Yeah, you can, with the Commerce Division, I believe you can share Omega with your neighbors. Yeah.
Very cool.
You'll be able to create the franchise, and everybody will be able to benefit. It's just win-win.
Yeah.
Nice. So I noticed that some of your the buildings around your mega towers are starting to futurize, or they're looking a little bit more futuristic.
Yes, very, very much so. A more brutal design. You've even got some sort of more futurized versions of your regular RCI buildings from the base game.
Can we see the futurization map just to get an idea of how these mega towers are influencing? Oh, look at that!
Wow.
So I spaced my mega towers out pretty wide, and I also have my Omega. My Omega is just sort of nice and concentrated over here. But as the buildings will convert over to Omega, they also become futurized. So
now that we're what are we at now? What are our numbers?
So we are at 34% industrial, 19% commercial.
Getting there.
I'm slowly starting to get my drones produced. Have a look at that drone production.
It's a nice futuristic road you have going there as well.
Yeah, you can see the drones going out. Traveling through the city.
Nice.
So as we were saying, the drones are gonna be able to go out. They're going to they can go over to help out with either your tier 2 police or health or fire buildings. They also have the ability to go into the safety levels on the mega towers, and in addition to that, they can go off to the residential buildings, and we can start to see over in the residential areas. It should start. Yeah. They're starting to get enough drones that people are going to sort of stop going out to shop for things. They're just going to go and pick up their Omega direct.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like your mega towers are in the red.
Some of them are, yeah.
Whoa.
They're not doing quite as well, but I think that's because I've got a water problem at the moment.
I see.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit of time for the water to catch up.
So I know that last time in our previous broadcast with Ross, when you were building your academy city, power was not an issue because you built that fusion power plant. You know, that gives you enough power to power a region. But it also requires control net, which obviously OmegaCo cities usually don't have unless they build the academy. So how can a OmegaCo city deal with power?
Chris?
I mean, OmegaCo cities can, of course, always go with the regular power, the regular power routes of the traditional sort of dirty industries. But they also do benefit if there's an academy city in the region. I've got my friend over here, myself, who is providing me with enough control net that I can operate some of my mega tower facilities, such as the Skybridge station, which requires control net in order to operate. Alternatively, you can go once you get up into the crown levels. Let's see if I've got. So in the crown levels, you have the solar power crown, which doesn't require any control net, which can help you out, and the more of them there are in the region, the more power you're going to be able to get. Although personally, I still am a bit of a fan of putting down a nuclear reactor level. It still requires control net, but if you want a nice compact nuclear pile sitting on top of your large population center, I can't think of a better solution.
Nothing could go wrong.
Of course not.
So I see you have the menu up. I see there's some crown options. Why don't we poll the people watching and seeing what crown you can build for one of your mega towers?
Yeah, let's have a look. So we've got the solar power crown,
okay,
the air scrubber crown,
that's pretty good.
tourism crown,
That's
Skycop's coaster crown.
Ooh, coaster crown.
It's pretty awesome. Billboard's advertising
Nice.
crown, which you can see over on my other building there, and the tiered park crown.
All right, so to those who are watching, which mega tower crown should we build? Let us know.
Nice. All right, so
We'll
just
get back to that in a second.
just having a look around, having a little bit of a freight issue. Looks like I'm gonna need to improve my trade depots. Add another one.
Whoa. The chat is blowing up with coaster. They really want to see the Skyclops coaster.
I can't imagine why. I mean, it's only like the most awesome of the options.
But so I have to ask though. I mean, you're living here in a OmegaCo city. You have you visit this massive mega tower with a roller coaster on top. Would you ride it?
Absolutely not.
What? Come on. What about you, Ross?
I don't know. I might ride that thing.
Come on. What could go wrong?
Well, I mean, just to preview what this thing's going to look like before we build it. I mean, this thing is way up there in the sky. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where this thing ends. I mean, like,
It looks like it ends right.
it looks like it launches you right into the next building.
Yeah.
I mean,
What could go wrong? You just drink some Omega, it'll be fine.
I mean, Omega doesn't make you bounce.
But Omega does bounce itself.
Well, only if you get rubberized Omega.
Right, okay. Toy grade Omega.
Yes, toy grade Omega, obviously. Alright, so let's check in a little bit more. 38% industrial, 22% commercial.
Nice. We got 10 minutes left, so you're making good progress over there.
Yeah, just one more industrial building converted over. I think I need a little bit more Omega. It's just gotta happen.
So for the people who don't have the expansion but are playing in regions with people who do, there are also some shared unlocks for the academy, right?
Yes, that's true. The power boosters for the wind and solar power, I believe, are shared, as well as the control net facility. No, maybe.
Yeah.
The
So
control net facility is definitely shared. I have one in here just in case.
Right, but for non-EP players.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, yeah, basically, you know, there's some shared technologies between the academy that will allow people who don't have the expansion to kind of get a taste of what it's like to, you know, have some of the future technology that the academy is producing, which is really cool. So even if you don't own it, you know, you can still get some of that benefits of playing with people who do, which is pretty nice, actually.
Well, they'll certainly get a taste of the smog.
You can get a taste of the delicious Omega purple clouds that you're currently building all about your city.
Taste of
Yes.
Nice.
Tastes delicious. Just connecting up my OmegaCo factory to my existing extraction network. That way I can take full advantage of the...
So how long have you been building this city, Chris?
I mean, this city took me a little while to build up. You know, playing in sandbox mode does significantly reduce the amount of time it takes for you to get built up. But it took me about an hour or so to get everything sort of built up.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, obviously in being sandbox mode, I started out with a lot more money, so I was able to get a lot
so if you're
more
playing
of
if you're playing in a normal game mode, it's going to take significantly longer to get up enough cash to support all those mega towers.
It's also significantly more difficult to make your mega towers profitable when you're not in sandbox mode, just because you can sort of keep your you've got plenty of money to play with, so you don't have to worry about running yourself into the ground.
So it is a challenge to kind of keep this going if you're playing in a normal game mode.
Definitely.
Nice. And unlike Mr. Ross over here, I hear you never cheat.
I do not cheat. Once I start a map up, I just play through with no cheats.
Nice.
Whatever. I don't have time to not cheat.
It looks like our Skyclops is up and running.
Speaking of cheats, there are some Cities of Tomorrow cheats in sandbox mode.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, there's a futurization cheat, so you can futurize your whole city without having to plop down future toys. There is a control net cheat, which will give you unlimited free control net.
Yeah,
oh, that's totally safe.
I would not ride that. I mean, look at this thing.
Let's zoom in a little bit. See that? Wow.
Just
that looks fun to me. It looks completely safe. It's probably magnetic. No chance of you flying out and falling.
Absolutely. It's totally magnets. Magnets are miracles.
Look at it go. Nice. Whoa!
Magnets never hurt anyone.
Wow.
Yeah, let's see a regular roller coaster do that.
Yeah.
Of course, it is powered by industrial grade Omega, of course.
Yes. Of course.
Obviously.
Of course.
Not actually.
Amusement grade Omega?
Yes, amusement grade Omega. Alright, so having like just about 50%. I'm starting to get my residences converted over.
Nice. Yes, you've got one enterprising citizen who's
1% of my enterprising citizens. Thank you. Not just one.
Fair enough.
Not just one.
Nice.
All right. So just having a look here. I've got still having a little bit of a fire issue, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put on a safety level.
Nice.
So that I can start taking advantage of my drones. Yeah, sort of just ramming right into those fires and putting them out.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Of course, the drones are consumed in the process, but it is absolutely effective against pretty much all types of fires.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got around 5 minutes left in your completely taking over your city with OmegaCo. So let me check to see where you're at as we kind of wind down.
Yeah. So.
Ooh, look at that! Almost 50%.
Almost half.
Now we're doing something that I find really interesting with Omega is that if you look at the profits, if you look at the profit per hour and then actually how much money he's earning franchise, if you subtracted the OmegaCo profits from the profit per hour, you'd actually be in the red, which I kind of really like because it shows that how much you're relying on Omega to keep you in the green. I mean, you're making a ton of money, but you're also spending a lot on your on your fire
resources.
and police and health and and your various different resources. And so
I'm spending a little bit less because I am taking advantage of my neighbors, but it's still a profitable venture.
Yeah, of course. There's always profit with Omega's involved.
Let's see how that.
Wow.
That delicious pollution headed your way.
Wow.
Just gonna be delicious.
So, would you even consider, because of all that pollution, creating sort of like a hybrid city and having, some of the academy technology in a city with OmegaCo to kind of get rid of some of that nasty pollution that you're creating?
Yeah, I mean, there's always the pollution scrubbers, and then like you mentioned before, you can the academy. If you have a hybrid city, the academy can provide you with like a lot of power and save you some space on your water and sewage. So.
Ultimately, you can do what I'm doing, which is just have the two cities sort of supplementing each other. So, yeah, I've got the academy city providing me with power and water and a few other things, including control nets, so that I can take advantage of some of the nice futurized additions. But in exchange, I have the ability to provide them with drones, which are significantly more efficient for helping them get rid of their crime problem, deal with injured people, or just dealing with fires.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the best benefit, obviously, is Omega, correct?
Well, I mean, yes. Yeah. I mean, just look at the just look at these buildings that are making me an additional 2,000 an hour on top of their regular upkeep. It's pretty fantastic.
Yes, Omega is its own reward.
It really is. I mean, nothing about Omega is terrible, obviously.
So we're winding down. We got about like 2 minutes left as we. Wow, you jumped up quite a bit actually.
Yep.
You're now at 59%.
And growing.
Nice.
It's a growing enterprise.
Before long, your whole city is just going to be drowning in Omega, which
Swimming.
Swimming
yes.
in Omega.
Kind of like Scrooge McDuck going in the money bin, but this time it's all Omega, and it's delicious.
I can't quite get there.
Trying
Trying
to tunnel over,
trying to tunnel
maximize
over.
that space. Very cool. So, as we start to wind down with our challenge portion, in a few minutes we'll be bringing in, our producer Jason Haber to answer some of your questions. So get those ready. Can't quite get it. But we'll be there in 1 second.
Sounds good.
All right. I just want to get you up to 60%.
I think we can get that.
Almost there.
Almost there.
I just like those OmegaCo symbols just all
just everywhere, just floating around.
All right. So why don't we bring in Jason, who can help answer some questions about the expansion packs. So he's going to come in a second, and then we'll go straight to the Q&A. And while you're doing that, why don't we try to get your city even more Omega-sized?
I'm working on it. I just threw down another factory. I'm just waiting for it to get up and running.
Very cool. Hello! He's arrived!
Get me on.
Just tag out with Ross.
How's it going here?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Welcome everybody. This is lead producer Jason Haber, who
How's it
works
going?
on the Cities of Tomorrow expansion pack. So he'll be answering some of your questions.
I got a decent franchise going here.
It's not bad.
It's hovering between the 40s and the.
Oh, you must have just upgraded.
Yeah, a couple of the buildings just upgraded. It's not the
So,
It's not terrible.
I was making so much money on my Omega City yesterday. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
ooh,
it's
money,
fantastic.
money. So we have some questions for you, Jason.
Sure.
So one of our questions from Twitter is, can you ask me, how bad is it when you stop supplying Omega once Sims have it?
Well, when a building loses its Omega, it'll have a bout of unhappiness. So there's a chance they'll leave the city. So if you shut off the Omega supply, you'll see a lot of abandoned buildings in your city, especially the industrial buildings.
You may not see them through all that smog, though.
But your bottom line will feel it for sure.
Yes.
Cool. So another question here is, so we talked about the cheats earlier. Can we talk about exactly how those cheats work?
Sure. So there's 2 new sandbox cheats with the Cities of Tomorrow expansion pack. One of them is the Futurization cheat, and by pressing Alt-U, I think it's Alt-U, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Futurization.
Yeah, go to Futurization, you can show them. It'll let you toggle sort of how much Futurization's in your city. So go ahead and press it a couple times. You can see there, now it's fully futurized, and press it again. It'll go back to no Futurization or standard Futurization. So that gives you the option to sort of just, if you want to just have an entirely future city and you don't want to work for it in sandbox mode, you can use Alt-U. The other one is by using Alt-N, you can toggle on and off the need for a control net. It's just like some of the other cheats around garbage and sewage and things like that.
So that's nice if you just want to build up an OmegaCo city, have some of the great technology from the Academy, and just not worry about having that control net.
Yeah, it's for creative players. I don't know where the challenge is.
There really isn't much, but it's not all about challenge. Sometimes it's just about customization.
That's right.
So we have another question here from our chat, and they're asking, how does the whole gold member thing work with residential?
So the gold membership works by building the drone factories or the drone modules on your OmegaCo factories. That will create OmegaCo subscribers in your residential buildings. And what that means is that the shoppers will be replaced by drones who will go out and do the shopping for them. And one cool thing about the drones is actually they travel on their own layer of traffic above the other layers of traffic. I don't know if you guys mentioned that. So the way a residential building will become a gold member is if their shopping drone happens to go to a commercial building that is also Omega-sized, Omega converted. So if the shopping drone goes and buys Omega and brings it back to the residential, then they'll become a gold member residential, and you'll get some bonus income off of them. So it's all about it sort of completes the Omega cycle, is the way we like to think about it. So if you've converted your industrial, which converts your commercial, and then you've converted your residential, which then shops at the commercial, you're just going to make tons of money.
Is that like the cycle of life?
The cycle of Omega.
Is Omega... Is that
It's-
like...
I'm not saying anything about what Omega is. You guys can decide
It's
for
the
yourself what
ultimate
Omega
cycle.
is.
Nice.
I got to do a shout out for the Maxis Movember team. I think our chat is going to throw a link up there if you guys want to come sponsor our team. It's for charity, and you should see the mustaches that are growing around the office. I unfortunately already have an epic beard, so I'm just not shaving my beard, not trimming my beard for it.
I'm also growing out my mustache, trying to get some nice curl over on the sides.
Very cool. So we have another question here from Twitter, and they're asking, do you know if the Red Cross, Progressive, or Nissan buildings have any more influence with the expansion?
They have any more influence?
That's a good question.
So the question is, so basically, having this content in
Right.
with the expansion, I know for something like Progressive, where you're insuring your buildings in the event of a disaster. We got that Outworlder 6 disaster, which we may be showing off a little bit later. So some of that content could actually be helpful, with some of the new content in Cities of Tomorrow.
Right. I mean, so there is the new disaster. So Red Cross and Progressive both will help you out with when you have disasters in your city. But as far as futurization, they won't futurize in their own way. They're sort of their own piece of content that you can add to your game.
They're part of the cities of the present.
Cities of today. and we like to think that Progressive and the Red Cross will still exist in the future.
Yes.
Very nice, kind of like how Taco Bell still exists in Demolition.
And you do have some I mean, I still can't figure out the three seashells. I mean,
Exactly. That's a mystery I don't think will ever be solved.
I think Furious is Omega.
So we have another question here. How many new buildings have been added?
Oh, why you're asking for an exact number?
I don't. Maybe not an exact.
I can't give you an exact number off
Yeah.
the top of my head, but so every building in the game that's in the core game at least has either been futurized with added content or replaced with an entirely new future building. So that's why when you convert your city either into a low wealth or high wealth future city, you're going to see those different looks of the city. The low wealth city sort of has more of that dystopian consumerist look. I mean, that's really where Chris has been going. You can see some of those big brutalist buildings there.
Sort of like a dread feeling.
Exactly, and then with the with high wealth buildings, you're gonna get more of that green utopian future, which we saw last week in Ross's city. So, actually, I gotta give a shout out to Skystorm because he did such an awesome job of sort of reviewing all the new buildings in the city, and he actually has some great videos sort of just showing all the new things that we've done with it, and really he does a great job. So thanks, Sky.
So another question here is from the Twitch chat. Where'd you get your future buildings ideas from?
It's funny. There's actually an incredible amount of reference out there and ideas out there. I mean, I wouldn't say there was any one specific source. We definitely looked at a lot of things and a lot of movies and just artists out there and ideas, and in some ways what we were really trying to capture was a general feeling rather than a specific building necessarily. Our artists can really talk more about sort of their specific inspiration, but to me it was really about this feeling of the consumerist city overrun with advertisements and neon and pollution and sort of that consumerist pollution, which I think is where all the advertisement comes along. And then the green city was really about open spaces and that shiny white buildings that you see, and even some really new buildings that are coming out today that are being built. You can look at those, and that was some of the inspiration as well. So there's a lot of different sources that we look to.
Nice. So another question here from the Twitch chat is, are there any new education buildings in the expansion?
The new education comes in the mega towers. There's actually an education level. I wonder if you have one somewhere.
I don't have one in here. I don't like my people becoming too.
So there's education level for both the basic and the elite mega towers, and the basic one I think it functions like a high school, right, or an elementary school, and then the one in the elite tower is more like a community college. So actually, will spread some technology or spread some tech influence. Thank you.
Yeah.
And those are actually really important when you're building your mega towers, especially in the elite, in the higher wealth cities, because without those, you have such huge populations in your mega towers. If you don't have any education, it can really create a major crime problem.
Yeah.
And we've seen that happen, especially in our early builds. We were having some major crazy crime issues.
If you have a police state like I do, you can also.
Yeah, the drones actually are great as at police coverage. The law drones.
Absolutely.
So, their rehabilitation.
Yes, instant rehabilitation.
So is it possible for us to show off what it's like to get Omega in another city?
I think so. Let me start sharing some of my Omega with myself.
So I remember last week I talked about how Academy Tech sort of gets shared across the region, even with non-Cities of Tomorrow players. That same thing will happen with some of the Omega stuff as well. I know you guys mentioned you can send Omega to any city in the region, but in addition, when you place down the extraction module on the OmegaCo HQ, everybody in the region, even if they don't have Cities of Tomorrow, will get the enhanced extraction modules for their oil and ore and coal buildings, and it'll actually double the output, double the amount you can pull out of the ground. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
So over in this city, I've got a hospital where I've got some drone hangars that I can put down that'll be able to start taking advantage of those things. I've got a fire station as well that I'm going to throw down some.
You need to put a drone factory in this.
Well, I can. Yes, I do. But I'll be able to, but I mean, I can get the stuff unlocked in these cities, so I can have a nice hybrid going over here.
Nice. Yeah, I like to do that even in my academy cities. I sort of reserve like a little corner that I put my like one little drone factory, which is really pretty good for providing those.
I got a little bit of space here, and the pollution will just blow over towards Ross.
There you go.
Chris, always foisting it off on.
Of course. I mean, that's what you're there for.
Get rid of that Omega module.
Yeah.
Just make drones.
Throw down some details over here. And yeah, every little bit is helpful with these things. So yeah, these will start producing the drones, which will then start benefiting the city. But in addition to that, I can get. Let's see. I'm receiving Omega.
Here it comes. You can see the trucks coming down the highway.
Coming down the highway slowly, and those are going to start out sort of coming in and converting over my industrial buildings, and then we're going to start seeing it spread fairly quickly through the city.
So we're almost done with our chat. We'll take one more question here. So we have another question from our Twitch chat, and they're asking who gets the franchise profit when the city gets converted.
Oh, that's a great question. So when you send Omega to another city, the city that you're in, which as soon as he starts getting some franchises, basically is getting free Omega. So they get free money almost. Can you bring up your budget actually, Chris? Let's see if any is coming in. It's not coming in yet. But he'll basically just start getting free Omega money. He'll get the profits from that. But the player who's sending the Omega to that city, once they've converted enough of that city, will sort of get a big chunk of profit for converting the other city. So the answer is they both get money for doing it. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So we should see that in his income now, and he's going to start getting
amazing stuff.
Yeah, he'll get free Omega income. So both players actually get the benefit from it.
Sounds great. So now that we're winding down, there's a lot of people in the chat that are asking to see the new disaster. So why don't we show up Mr. Outworlder 6?
Let's first ask them, would they like to see it in the Academy City, or would they like to see it in the Omega City?
All right.
I think that would be a...
Academy or Omega, which city should we put us in? Let us know.
The fancy and lovely Academy City.
Wow, it's pretty even so far. A lot of academies, a lot of Omegas.
Take down Omega. Come on.
I think
show them their ways are wrong.
I think that all the people who are so reliant on their technology in the Academy City should get kicked
down. Academy is looking like the one of the front runners right now. I think it's kind of a little bit of a nice move to get rid of the snobby Academy elitist.
Yeah, we've got a nice target right here in the middle that we can just hit with it. So
yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the Academy.
All right. I mean, worst case, we can always come back. All right. So here we have Outworlder 6. Gonna call him in.
So why don't you explain exactly Outworlder 6's story, Jason?
Well, we don't like to give too much of a story, but Outworld 6 is a alien from outer space, an alien robot who's crash landed on your planet. He needs to refill his energy in order to leave. He's actually just misunderstood.
Giant claw hands.
So you can see he'll come in and he's actually going to go and start absorbing energy and control that and drones from your city. And actually, what we'll be able to see once he does that, you don't need that up. You can show up.
Yeah. I mean, he is also a very large robot, so occasionally he'll just bump into a building accidentally.
He's just misunderstood. So one thing he's doing here, he's actually beaming around the mega towers. So
here he goes.
Here he's absorbing some of the electricity, but he'll actually avoid your mega towers, just because it would be pretty devastating to have him knock down an entire mega tower. That'd be pretty expensive. So we actually he's considerate enough to avoid those.
The useless police sitting by his feet.
So now if you look at the back of him, actually, you can see the little meter on the back. As he's sucking out the energy and all that different things, that meter will actually fill up. And it fills up all the way, sort of win the prize, and he'll leave your city and leave some oil in the city. But if you can't fill it up all the way, he'll get frustrated. Oh, man, he didn't do it. And have some green haze and actually leave some radiation in your city. So you might need a pollution ground scrubber to clean that up. Just a very little bit, but
It's a very little bit of radiation. I think that he'll be all right. That wasn't terribly satisfying. I think I'm going to do it again.
yes.
Yes.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Oh, right on the building, too.
Yeah. Bring him in. We have plenty of power. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to live satisfied.
I love his animations.
He's pretty awesome.
Get down on the street level. Look up the Sims. Seeing him come to you.
What? Look at him scanning. Here he goes.
Hey, there he goes.
Teleporter.
Yeah, well, yeah, he really wants to avoid those mega towers, I guess. Or he just loves that water. It's a sewage treatment plant or the water.
It's a sewage treatment plant.
He just loves the sewage.
He's getting all the power. There he goes.
Doesn't look like he's getting quite enough power. He was configured to absorb as much as he wanted. I guess maybe there's just not enough spare.
Yeah.
He's getting frustrated.
Not here.
More radiation right in the same spot, too.
Wow.
Oh,
Let's check the radiation maps.
Could be worse. Could be in a different spot.
yeah.
Oh, look.
Oh, right.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I don't think you want to build any residential there.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be fine.
Just give them some Omega. Is that what?
Yeah.
Everything will make
A
everything.
little bit of
better.
Omega. It's the radiation reduction grade Omega.
Yeah.
Just
Nice. Well, yeah, this is I think we're going to wrap up our third Twitch chat. I want to thank, all three of you guys for taking the time to showcase the game. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch us live today. So we got Jason Aber here, and we got our balance designers, Ross Treyz and Chris Schmidt. So thanks again.
Yep. Thank
And-
you.
And we'll be back soon with our another Twitch chat. So keep following us on Twitter and liking us on Facebook, and we'll have more information about when our next Twitch chats will be.
Thanks
But-
everybody for all your support and keep streaming. Dizzy, we've been watching you. We'll keep watching. Don't ban Stone anymore. He gets very sad if that happens.
Great. So I want to thank everyone again, and then we'll talk to you guys after a while.
All right. Bye-bye.